We all collectively, I'll speak for everybody right now, had a blast. We thank you. This is not an opportunity that comes along for me, ever.
Or me.
You know, or Rich, and, you know, Emery, and all of us. And this crew, these two camera crews, were as much part of our team as anybody. And they helped royally.
I thought it was great having you guys along.
And you know, Adrian did not have to do what she did. She drove.
Oh, okay.
So that because she knew we had no sleep, and we had to get some or we would be useless to rescue. So she just said, hey, I'll drive. And she drove like a bandit on a wonderful road, but, you know, at rates of speed to get us there. And we're just here, and no one has taken a break, other than to meet some wonderful people at checkpoints that I assure you will help you in the next race.
Everyone knows about the 1209 buggy.
That mud hole thing, I wish that could have been filmed. I have never seen anything like that before. This 12-year-old kid organized these guys, and it was mud. I mean, I was up to here in the water. It's not even there anymore. But he organized these guys to start pulling, and they chanted, you know, to get a rhythm going and pulling out, and they pulled it not all the way out of the mud hole, but up this embankment that was this deep in mud to a dry spot. And then when we got it up there, they, you know, started giving us something to drink and all this kind of stuff. There must have been more VW mechanics, and you could shake a stick out. They all jumped on the motor. They were drying off the plugs, had the distributor cap off, had it all going.
Basically
fired up, you know, fired up, and finally got that thing fired. And they all cheered. Meanwhile, they're all going, Barbara, Barbara, Barbara. Obviously, they could see what the deal was, and it was really good. It was really cool. That was something else.
It was neat. They basically pushed Dickie out of the way, and they were starting.
They just gave me something to drink and just, it was okay, you're okay.
But yeah, it was definitely a moment. It's probably one of the most touching moments in my whole life. It's in the Baja Peninsula.
Yeah,
if you can believe that.
Who would believe that?
Yeah, I know. It's stuck in a big mud pit.
Stuck in a mud. Oh, and that was another thing. Barbara stayed in the seat, you know, and everything, and I jumped out. I'm working on this thing, and of course, you know, the ignition's back here. Well, every buggy that came through, sploosh, and the water goes everywhere, you know. And I remember looking over, and there was this wave of water that went over the top of the thing, boom, right over her head, and she never flinched. Just sat there like.
It wasn't just a wave; it was a tidal wave
yeah,
of mud, muck, water, and who knows what else.
I don't know what's in there. Yeah, it was pretty muddy.
And then the Hummer's flying by me on the right, bang in the buggy. The trophy truck's flying by me on the left, bang. I've got so many freaking bruises on my left arm from. Every time they would hit the buggy, you know, just that impact of my arm hitting probably the steering wheel or the side of the buggy.
Yeah, and I'm standing behind this thing in the meantime trying to work on it while they're trying to get through. You know,
the first leg that you and I did, yeah, it definitely had its issues.
Yeah, I was just talking about that. I was just talking about that to you guys. We were going down through this thing. There was a 90-degree corner coming up. I said, Barb, there's a 90 right next to a fence, which indicates probably it's going to be a tight 90. About the time we see it, she hits the brakes, knocks this thing sideways, and it was either we were sideways into a telephone pole or through this gate, and she gasses this thing right into this open field. I said, that's pretty good. Whips it around, and we're back down the road like nothing ever happened. I said, all right, I'm very comfortable with this now. So we had a good time. I just wish it could have lasted longer.
I think about that time is when Dickie kind of got quiet. I'm like, am I scaring you yet?
No, she was going so fast. I was trying to keep up with the GPS, pushing buttons, and we're doing it on a low resolution. So.
Yeah, you know, last year in that 3/4 ton Ford, it was really hard to really experience the speed and the full excitement of being in a real Baja vehicle. But doing the almost 100 miles that you and I did this year, you can be my navigator anytime. Hey, it's Barbara Terry. Make sure to check out my new line of car care products on my website, barbaraterry.com.